Yeah. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Yeah. 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 That sound crazy. Is it still buffering? I need answers. Is it still buffering? I don't know what's gonna happen tonight. I just need to know if it's buffering. Red Breeze, let me know something in the chat. Is it buffering? Yeah.
That's a big bitch.
Fucking nuts. This woman is nuts.
Divine photos.
As you. I know I don't. In a reality
Up.
where I know.
Likes up. Let's get the likes up.
In a reality where I know.
All right, I'm doing this live for $25 for me to do 2 hours last night. Internet wouldn't allow me to do 2 hours last night. So I'm doing an hour this afternoon and then I'm coming back tonight between 6 and 8 p.m. Hopefully, if the internet allows me. I don't have dial up, but it would seem as if I do have dial up. Let's get the donations up just because. Cash App, PayPal, Streamlabs, all at the top of the chat, or Super Chat, Super Sticker. Other than that, let's just get into this ridiculous nonsense.
In a reality where I know I do not have the same opportunity as you. I know I don't.
And you know
and
that
I know
too.
West Coast.
And you know that.
Let me just tell you about me.
Black women are the most educated and still learning. We are going to be talking about when Black females hit the pinnacles of their career, degrees, and where they want to be in life.
Women need to start finding their husbands while they're in college. Don't wait until after. Because once you wait until after college, once you wait until you get your life together, your dream car, your dream job, your dream house, you know you're ready to settle down. But what is wrong with doing both? I feel like there is no issue with prioritizing both getting your education and finding your husband while you're in college. I really hate that.
Don't look. If you're not going to be a submissive, obedient woman, then just don't even bother. Don't even bother. Just stay focusing on your career. Keep going back to school and getting degrees. We don't need any more dysfunctional families or broken families. So yeah, if you don't plan on being a trad wife and treating your man with the utmost respect, even when he's at his lowest and brokest and most vulnerable, then nah, don't even worry about it, ma.
In the Black community, our parents have told us, don't worry about a man while you're in college, focus on your education, do that first. But there are several like women who don't look like us that are getting married by a certain age, early age, and having kids by their, mid to late 20s. And most Black women, they don't get married until early 30s or even not married at all.
Interesting fact, Black females who do go out and get the education is always on the lower end compared to their white counterparts. So meaning they don't get the high masters or doctorate that they also go on about.
As Black women, me especially being educated, and I make, a certain amount, the higher you go, the less likely we see y'all, up at the top. So it's like, you mean to tell me there was another Black man that was at the top?
That's the problem too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other Black man at the top not checking for an accomplished, bull-headed, agreeable woman who trying to compete with him. So by the time you get to the top, those dudes up there with you not checking for you. So you end up still having to check for those dudes that you got to look down on or that you choose to look down on. Well, your brain won't allow you to do anything other than look down on them. But yeah, you're cooked. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is what women need to get through their thick skulls. You bossing up lowers your chances of getting a man that's bossed up. That's the part that they don't get. They have this power couple dream in their head, and it's never going to come true for most of them. For 99% of them, the power couple dream will never come true. And they're so focused on being a power couple, and these women don't focus on how can I actually be a good wife to this man. What if I ever do meet this ideal man? How can I be a good wife to him and a good mother to his kids and make sure I'm going to nurture my family to where it stays together and everything goes good. Like most women are just more focused on the look of things and the status of things.
Yeah,
A lot of
that is
women
the
are
problem.
looking for men at the top instead of
But no.
looking for just a good
No,
man.
because we're not Kiki Palmering ourselves these days. At the end of the day, if I am a woman that's doing well and I have built a certain life for myself, I'm not going to lie. If you're going to come into it, I need to know that you're either going to add to it or be able to help me upkeep it. Same verse.
Well, a man could add to it. I mean, let's be real. If you make 150K, a 50K man could add to it. Y'all bills together. He's improving your situation. You know what I mean? He's freeing up another 50K you now can invest. But look, it's all about status to them. It's not about, oh, I just want somebody to add. A decent man is inherently going to add to a woman's life, regardless of what he make, or even if he have a job, even if he don't have a car. A decent man is always going to enhance a woman's life in some way, or improve a woman's life in some way. But let's be real. A lot of these women don't want a good man. They would find him boring and predictable.
Like vice versa.
Yeah,
I
but
feel like there needs to
what
be
you
an
mean by
asset.
adding, like he has to have the same amount as you, or making the same amount,
I
or
feel,
more, or if he's making less, would you not want?
I probably would not, because honestly, I've probably been there. I don't think that's foul.
I think that is foul.
I don't think so because I've been there.
Down statistically
But
for a fact, you're knocking down like if you talking about black men, because I know you like black men.
I do.
First of all, black men, you're knocking down probably more than half of black men.
Why?
Damn, you're masculine. So, see, this is what they lose sight of. You're too gassed up on degrees and money. You're not a feminine woman. Men wouldn't find it enjoyable to sit in a room with you. That's your first problem. Forget about who measure up to you. Men don't like you. Men don't like your disposition. Men don't like your demeanor. Broke, like Dusties wouldn't enjoy being around you. So if a Dusty wouldn't enjoy being around you, you don't stand a fucking chance with a top tier black man. Make it make sense to me. By any chance, do we have a James in the house? Is there a James in the house?
Not a lot of black men are making over
But my thing,
$80,000.
but my
a
thing
year.
is, once again, but why are you guys putting that on us?
Morgan Stanley predicted that 45% of women between the ages of 25 and 44 will be single and childless by 2030. One of the reasons is because the number of prime working age women in the US has been increasing steadily, and most of these women are single and completely focused on their career.
See, that's not what the problem is. Because let's break it down like this. All these women who are focusing on their career, they're dating men this whole time since they were 15 too. Don't ever lose sight of that when you hear these statistics about, oh, these percentage of women have just been focusing on a career. You don't think they've been getting dick since 15 while focusing on a career? They're still dating guys. They're not asexual. They're still interacting with men and having situationships with men. Her focusing on her career is not why she hasn't landed a guy. There's plenty of women throughout history who are doctors who got married in high school or college. Focusing on a career and making your relationship dating life work are two separate things. I'm tired of that myth. You can't go to school and have a boyfriend. It's bullshit. You can't have a husband and have a career. It's bullshit. These women are failure women because they're just not likable to men. They don't have the characteristics that men are looking for in a wife and a girlfriend. And they're going after guys out of their league. And a lot of women are just unlikable people to be around. Stop blaming it on I was focusing on my career.
Single childless women very generally tend to be much more unhappy, much unhealthier, especially mentally, much lonelier, and much less fulfilled than women who have a husband and children. This is just statistically true. This has been proven through many different types of studies and research. But this is bigger than a woman's happiness. This is about the bedrock of any healthy society. What is the
Women don't care about society. Women care about their happiness. When you allow them the space to prioritize their happiness over family and society, they're going to prioritize that over family and society. You can't give them the room to prioritize their own happiness over family and society. You can't give them that much room on the leash because this is what's going to happen every time. The destruction of society. You know?
bedrock of any healthy society? It's not money. It's not buying things. It's not consumerism. It's the family. It's the family unit. It's always been that way.
Why that fact was very important is when you look at the type of education that they get and then the standards that they put up and expect from black men, it doesn't even correlate always the same.
Let me tell you how proud I am to be a black woman.
Or do we really want to listen to a woman who thought it was okay to come on the internet where it could have went viral? So it could have been millions of people saw her with some turquoise paper bag or turquoise popcorn bag on her head, a fucking shower cap. Nobody's trying to get no game from you. Now, granted, you can get game from anybody, but look, you're gonna turn a lot of people's ears off just by how you look. How you look is important. It really is. Because most people will dismiss you just based off how you look before they even hear you talk. Make sure you're always dressed the way you want to be addressed. Um, let me get a like for that one person in here who haven't hit the like button. You know who you are. If you're that one person in here who haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. Let's get the donations up just because. Cash App, PayPal, Streamlabs, all at the top of the chat, or Super Chat, Super Sticker.
Nobody seems to want to talk about this. Black women are the most educated. I have 4 college degrees, and I am damn proud of myself.
I'm a PhD.
Nobody cares. Nobody else gives a damn. You can kiss your own ass about it. I'm kissing my ass. Do you mind? Look, you can kiss your ass about it, but nobody else really gives a damn. And I'm pretty sure that's a myth. Let's look it up. Where did this? Okay. Says American students who have graduated over the last 2 years have been fraught with circumstances due to the pandemic and the economic's rocky landscape. While the job market does appear to be promising for recent black graduates, the unemployment rate is still significantly higher for the community. According to a job report in March, the unemployment rate for black men rose to 6.1% in April, up from 5.6% since March. However, the unemployed rate for black women fell from 5.5 to 5% this month. That month. Let's see. And I need a quick stat. Let's get a quick stat. Mm, okay, did not graduate high school, enrolled in college, graduated 4-year college. Wait, hold on. So from this stat, it says black and Hispanic students had the lowest rates of enrolling and graduating college within 6 years. Hmm, where is this study from? Oh, National Center for Education Statistics. Sound pretty legit to me, guys. So this looks about right. 41% Asian, 28% white, uh, 14% black, and 13% Hispanic. Yep. So another myth debunked here at Modern Dating Cure.
Proud of myself.
I'm a PhD.
You know what's funny? I've had a black man, I've had white people, I had different people trying to put me down for being an educated black woman.
I'm a PhD.
Because there was a time in which it was illegal to have an education, to even learn how to speak a language, to read a book. Can you imagine? Throughout our history, all of the oppression, all of the
That was crazy. Her having a decent man in her life would have probably set her up better financially than her having those 4 degrees and a bunch of debt. She should have been learning how to be a submissive, feminine woman to a man. That would have secured her financial future more than those 4 degrees, I bet. No guarantees, but it's just a hunch of mine. You know? I want to look that up one more time, man. Let's get the donations up. Cash App, PayPal, Streamlabs, all at the top of the chat. Among black students in higher education, women are more likely than men to earn degrees. That's still not. No, that's not what I asked. Right, they want to hide that information from me.
Racism that black women have endured, and we're still resilient. What does that say about a black woman? It shows her strength.
So there's this notion that when black women are bored, we go back to school. And I definitely do agree, because I currently have a bachelor's, I just got my master's, and I'm in a PhD program, and I'm getting ready to go to pilot school. But I think the discussion is way much deeper than what we think it is. It's like society doesn't fulfill us as black women. It's like it's there's something missing for us. There's something that we're still searching for, and I don't understand what it is. But as black women, we keep going back to school, we keep trying to fulfill ourselves, and it's like there's something missing. Why do we as a collective group, why are we searching? What are we searching for? It's a topic, you know, like everyone chime in. I need to hear everyone.
And like, usually y'all are just broken. You're just broken. This woman would probably never, she would probably never have a happy, wholesome family. By the time a woman doing all that and she didn't secure her man in high school and college, she probably won't find one. You know? Really, in reality, they probably just run back to school after another heartbreak, or run to pilot school after another heartbreak, after another failed situationship with Pookie. Not just when they get bored. Nice try.
Everyone's perspective.
What gets me, it's always black females or black women who are oppressed, but somehow that same experience doesn't apply to black men. Somehow black men weren't in the same predicament as you either.
And you know what? I didn't take dating very seriously. I dated in med school. I dated people in med school. I didn't take it very seriously. In my 30s, I still was that way through half of my 30s. But what happened was, around the time I started freezing my eggs, my latter part of my 30s, I actually started panicking about the fact that I wasn't married. And I remember specifically talking to my mom being like, why didn't I take this seriously? Why didn't I make better decisions?
Well, because you were getting a lot of attention from different men. You know, that's why you never had to take one man too serious. And you thought you were going to be cute forever. That's why you didn't take it serious. And now you're probably cooked for life, unfortunately, for you.
And I started thinking back to all the guys I dated, being like, oh, should I go back? Maybe he was one. Why did I, and I tortured myself. I crucified myself because I said, how could you not have taken this seriously? What did you do? You let all this time pass, and now you're almost 40. And what the flip? How did we get here? Because all of a sudden I was approaching 40 and my parents were like, you need to freeze your eggs. I was like, ah! And I was really hard.
Freezing eggs shouldn't even be able to be, like, they shouldn't even have that anymore. You know, they just shouldn't. By the time a woman gotta freeze her eggs, what are the chances she's gonna be a good mother? Like, by the time a woman gotta freeze her eggs, is she even gonna make a family work with a man? What are the chances that that relationship is gonna work if a man entered the relationship with a woman who had eggs on ice?
Hard on myself during that time. I really, really was hard on myself. I was remorseful, I was regretful, I was embarrassed, and I felt like I had wasted a lot of time. And then, in my 40s, which I am, I'm proud to say that things have gotten a little bit better for me, meaning how much or little rather I beat myself up. The reason why I haven't gotten married is honestly because I haven't found him yet.
There's no him. Highly incomparable man. Look, you're not gonna meet him. If you were gonna meet the highly incomparable man, the highly invasive man, or I'm sorry, um, what's the word I'm looking for? What's another R word? What up, DDT? What up, Kevin? What up, Devin? What up, Ripside? What up, Tap? Glad y'all could stop by. Let's get the donations up. Cash App, PayPal, Streamlabs, all at the top of the chat. And then yeah, I think yeah, like DDT said, only like 10% of frozen eggs actually works. So it's a lot like so yeah, it's a 90% chance you're gonna waste your $10,000 or $20,000. Let's see how much it costs because we don't got nothing better to do. I'm sure James is a hardworking man. He probably can't watch this, but he'll catch the live stream. But if you do catch the replay, James, this is for you. You paid $25 last night for a 2-hour stream. I couldn't deliver. So I'm delivering now, no homo. And I'm going live again tonight, 6 to 8 p.m. Central. Okay, let's see. This says freezing eggs isn't cheap. One cycle of egg freezing can cost 5,000 to 8,000 on average. That's just one cycle. The medication can range from 4 to 6,000. The egg storage can cost 500 to 1,000 per year. Okay, so that's easily, I mean, yeah. So we're looking at, $10 to $20,000 minimum. So we'll just say we're looking at $15,000 minimum for something that's only worked like 10% of the time. Let's see if we can find that stat. Okay. A woman 35 and younger will have a 30 to 50% success rate per cycle, and 80% or better after 3 cycles. Damn, and it's 8,000 per cycle. Damn, so that's $24,000. Let's see. Conversely, women over age 42 have a 5% success rate per cycle. Ooh, over age 42. And usually most of the women we hear about having their eggs frozen are over 40. So yeah, that's bad. Damn. Have a 5 less than 10% after 3 cycles. Uh, oh well, they had plenty of opportunity. Plenty of opportunity.
I just, and you know what? It was one day that it literally took me waking up one morning where I had blamed myself and said, well, maybe you are too picky. Well, maybe you are crazy. And maybe you didn't. It was one day that it literally took me waking up one morning where I had blamed myself and said, well, maybe you are too picky. Well, maybe you are crazy. And maybe you didn't take this seriously. And why didn't you do this? And why weren't you this? And I can't believe you did this. And how did you let 15 years go by without thinking about this? Just being very honest with you, because I'm overwhelmed and I don't even know. Am I going to be too old to have a kid? I don't know. But the bottom line is that I have to trust the process.
Issue in this country right now is we live in different realities.
That's right.
I live in a reality where I know I do not have the same opportunity as you.
Let's just say that's true. And I mean, I would loosely agree. Well, and now I don't know. Actually, we live in a time now where a black woman probably has more opportunities than a white man, honestly. But let's just say she's right. Why sit around and have that type of mentality? You know, why sit and dwell on it? Why not just work hard, be the best you can be, and try to go far as you can go, instead of sitting around crying victim? It's fucking pathetic.
I know I don't.
And you know
and
that
I know
too.
Let's Go.
I got it. And you know that.
Let me just tell you about me.
I'm gonna let you finish, but I want to answer this.
I'm not talking about how you feel. I'm talking about how I feel. Me, a black woman in this country.
But not in this city.
And I will run. And if you
Look,
want
I'm a New Yorker, not in this city. You cannot say that. You can't say that in this city. But
I'm not talking about New York. I'm talking about Ashland right here. I got a law degree, a master's, and 2 bachelors. Probably more education than all of y'all added up together on this table, right? And I have always been the least paid person on payroll at every institution I have.
How would you know that? Is how I'm. Like, seriously, look, please educate me. Make me look stupid, y'all, in the chat. How would she be the least paid person at every institution she ever worked at? I mean, maybe I guess she could look it up. I don't know. But you jamming people finger in your, and people, you jamming your finger in people's face. Maybe that's why they didn't want to give you the promotion. Oh, you're feeding into the angry black woman trope, ma'am. And look, you're on this big platform on CNN being an angry black woman, a hurt, angry black woman, making us look bad again. Why do the black people that make us look the worst get the most shine on media? I don't think it's by accident. I really don't think it's by accident. I need the likes up. I got 13 people watching. I got 9 likes. If you those other 4 people, do your part and hit the like button. And let's get the donations up. Cash App, PayPal, Streamlabs, all at the top of the chat, or Super Chat, Super Sticker.
Worked in, and it's not
Even
because
in the White House.
Even in the White House.
Well, whose fault is that? I don't think he worked for George W. or Trump.
Well, guess what happened when I was there? DEI.
Scott.
Look. I find that a lot of black females find themselves in a place where they feel the need to always have to prove something to the society, the Western world that they find themselves in today. And I've talked about this a lot when it comes to black females and black women in corporate America, how they always find themselves least appreciated, least paid, and the pay gap is always big, and they never actually get promoted until the business has gone wrong, or they're never actually even hired at the same rate or the same pace as other women, like white women. And there's so many things we could say about that. First thing I would want to say is when it comes to the education, when you look at the stats, because that's what we have to go off, we have to go off logic and facts. Black women and black females do not hold the same doctorate or masters that predominantly white women do. So even in the education, you're in the lower end, the lower scales of the educated women that you all boast about. And on top of that, they want to talk about oppression so much. But weren't you in the same society that black men were also oppressed? Don't black men also have the same pay gap as the patriarchy that you all want to fight against? But somehow you fight the black man as if he's the one that built the patriarchy. It doesn't make sense to me. And another thing that I want to...
If I got any ladies in the house, put a 2 in the chat. Put a 2 in the chat, ladies, if you in here.
having a wonderful day or night, but for now, let's get into the video.
Oh my god, I love it! Okay, wait, what made you want to ask him?
Huh? Why are you making it sound like we're a couple?
Oh my god, don't get
It's
scared.
not my material.
What? Oh, it's not that. Wow, it's not that. Wow, look at you.
Yeah.
I could leave right now if
Well,
I
I can
wanted.
roast you too. You can't just roast all of us and get nothing.
Whoa!
Is that not allowed?
I see. So you were afraid because you felt like I was saying you're gay.
I can take the mic if you want.
It's okay, he's your new friend.
I will say this, it is such a hard time in this world right now. There are so many people that came together to be supportive and amazing, and you're putting negative, no, look me in the eyes, you're putting negative energy out here. This is the last show of my, look me in the eyes.
Oh my goodness. Well, this isn't funny at all, ma'am. And I could tell that you were mentally ill by all the tattoos. It never fails. A woman who's tatted up is almost, look, there's a 95% chance she's mentally ill. One little tattoo on her wrist, okay, fine. But if she's tatted up or got some big tattoo on her chest, on her shoulder, on her forearm, stay away, bro. Don't even have a one night stand with her. You'll wake up with your own dick in your mouth. Yeah. She should be able to handle a heckle a lot better than this. Yeah. I don't think this is her calling. Oh my goodness.
No, look me in the eyes, you're putting negative energy out here. This is the last show of my, look me in the eyes. It's the last show, look at me. It's the last show of my weekend. It's a sold out show and you want to say mean to me, okay? So don't do that.
Exactly, stop being such a meanie.
Yeah, you're not cut out for this. Women they're not cut out for it. Just like women love roasting men, but when the roast turn on them, they cannot handle it at all.
In case you've missed it, she's a comedian. And of course, there's nothing better than a comedian who can take a joke. Oh my god, I'm gonna try to roast you, and yeah, sure I failed, but don't dare say anything back to me. How dare you put mean energy into my show?
Do you know something that all men do? They'll be crossing a road, right? Let's say they're in London, they're at a zebra crossing. Then actually, do you know what? They're probably not at a zebra crossing. They will walk across that road, they will not look both ways. They will just dice with death. Do you know what I mean? A car is going to be approaching, they're still going to walk out in the road because they're like, well, let it hit me. Let's see what happens. They just think that they'll play chicken with the car. Every single man would do this.
Yeah, I used to do that when I was younger. Of course, back then I was married. I don't do that anymore. So, princess, my point is, it doesn't matter what you use as an example. It's never every single man.
No, because tell me why this generation is slowly developing sociopathic behaviors. Take dating.
Okay, sociopathic behavior. Something like this.
It's the last show of my weekend. It's a sold out show and you want to say mean to me, okay? So don't do that.
Exactly, stop being
sociopath than they are. Truly. And the only way to win the game is to be more of a sociopath than they are. That behavior was something else. I think behaviors. Take dating as the Gen Z. There are so many sociopaths out there. It's scary. It really is scary. Because what do you mean? We just don't care about anything. Because what do you mean we manipulate people? Since when is that okay? I don't know. I think I just need a second opinion. But in my opinion, we are all developing sociopathic behaviors because you're supposed to do these things and absolutely not care or think about them. And last time...
That's because...
No, because the one thing that I genuinely hate about being a girl is other girls. Why? Why? Because this girl from high school who I have like I had no bad blood with. I just was like, you know, like whenever I got out of high school, I unadded everybody. Like I just like, I was done. I was ready to move on. No one knows. No one knows what I was going through, right? So she comes up to me at the club and she genuinely, she grabs my hands and she's looking into my soul and she's like, genuinely, I hope that you're doing so good. And she was like making me feel so good. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I thought she was being genuine, right? So I was genuine because I had nothing against her. What? And I'm like looking at her and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, no, you too. Like, she's like, grabbed my hands, like, you are doing amazing things. You really are. And then I found out what she was saying about me the other day.
Nothing stronger than girls' friendships. Well, but what was she saying? Was that...
Listen, hot take here, I know, but I'm gonna keep it 100% honest. I like my men a little misogynistic. What do I mean by that? I mean, please roll your eyes at me when I'm being dramatic. Please tell yourself, women, God, it must be her time of the month.
Yeah, women like men with balls, and women like men who see through their BS. No question. Most women like men who are going to put down and say, you broads are tripping. Stuff like that. Yeah, we know. You know how we know you like those guys? You vote with your vajayjay. That's how we know. We can pay attention to the guys you boink. That's how we know who you really like.
Because what is the alternative? The alternative is what, you're gonna argue with me? So now we're both emotional? We're both women? I don't know if it's like the plastics and the water, shrinking the perineal, but I don't like it. I like my men old school, patient, misogynistic. Now, I'm not saying totally dismiss or invalidate me, but don't take me too serious.
She's one of the reasons no one cares anymore. Rolling your eyes when she says something dumb is misogynistic. A few years ago, you told a man he's been misogynistic, he would have at least tried to convince you he's not. Now everyone is rolling their eyes. When you overuse a term, people just don't care anymore when they hear it. Being one of the old school men, as you called us, I'll try to help you out. I'm a chauvinistic pig, not a misogynist. There's a difference.
Why do women like older men?
Oh, women can sometimes like older men to feel protected and cared for, especially in the city. Like, we drive and we give a lot of ourselves, which is amazing. And sometimes it's just like nice to be able to go home to someone and like feel cared for.
And how does an older man make a woman feel cared?
Feeling listened to.
Yeah.
So like if I have like a really big day at work, I would love if my like partner had listened to that and then knew to follow, be like, hey, how did this go? Rather than just like not paying attention.
Younger guys are just not as focused in that way?
I do think that having experiences over time teach you how to like listen and engage with someone a little more. So maybe that's where the age like does come into it, but I wouldn't say there's like it is determined by a number.
That's because it's not. And
Talks too much, you know? Like, does this woman here think that any man really truly gives a damn about what she's saying? Or is she aware enough to know that 99% of men are going to be way more concerned with what her ass look like in those shorts than anything she has to say intellectually?
the experience teaches us how to pretend we listen. Now I should make this as always about myself. Ladies, if you're watching, your significant other listens to you. That's why it's important when you're telling a story to not ask questions. They listen, it's just me that I pretend to listen.
You dealt with the cheater in your past or you're currently dealing with the cheater, this message is for you. When we talk about going through the phones, you are not toxic and crazy as long as you're not doing it every single day. So let me explain what I mean. There is a difference between going through his phone every single day on a daily basis versus investigating because you already have evidence and your intuition is telling you that something is off and that you need to investigate. Those two determine if you are being toxic and crazy and unhealthy in your relationship. So as a girl myself who fell into the pattern of going through my partner's phone every single day on a daily basis, it is very unhealthy, and that's not quite what's going to lead into that harmonious relationship. Remember, ladies, the goal is always to have the relationship that you want.
No, the goal is to not be toxic and crazy. That's how you get the relationship that you want. And it doesn't matter how often you go through his phone. If you do, you're still toxic and crazy.
Here's the question, like, is she cheating? That's the thing. Like, usually the women who would go through a man's phone would never let that man go through. You know? If a chick go through your phone, or you catch a chick going through your phone, just drop her, man. Men gotta learn how to just get the balls to break up with women. Men are chicken shit when it comes to breaking up with women. They would rather cheat and get caught on purpose, or they would rather plant a fake woman in their phone so she can think he cheating, so she can leave him, instead of him having the balls to break up with her.
Okay, help me here. Why do guys that I'm interested in end up not wanting to pursue me? And then guys that I'm not interested in pursue me and pursue me hard and do not.
Well, because you're not good enough for the guys that you, and the guys who pursue you hard are really desperate.
Give up. Please make it make sense.
It's not that hard, really. I hate math, so let's use it. We'll use numbers. Let's say you're a 5 going for an 8. An 8 is not gonna look at you twice, he's gonna go for a 7, 8, or 9. And on the other side of the coin, when a 5 is interested in you, you consider him to be a 2 or a 3. I hope that makes sense.
It's been about 2 weeks since I've been on a date with absolutely anyone. Anyone that's asked, I've said no or like just pushed it back because I don't want to deal with that right now. I felt like after the guy with the seat who mounted me and I was like, that traumatized me a little bit. So I've had to really like tighten up on those screening questions before we actually go on a date so I can make sure that there's someone that I'm not wasting my time on that I actually would get into a relationship with. But I just spat everywhere. I do have a couple dates coming up, so I'm sure I'll keep you guys updated. There's actually a couple dates coming up that I have organized that people have DM'd me on TikTok, so.
And people say nothing good comes out of TikTok. Well, she's gonna be mounted again after 2 weeks by 2 different guys from TikTok. I would have think after that mounting that.
Oh, nice jugs. I wasn't paying attention to what she said, but I'm sure she's doomed in the dating market, even with nice tits. Let's get the donations up. Cash App, PayPal, Streamlabs, all at the top of the chat. Or Super Chat, Super Sticker.
The more successful and powerful a man is, the less he's challenged by a woman. So sometimes on Bumble, I'll say something like, "Did your mom intentionally spell your name wrong?" These guys need to be challenged. They need to be stimulated mentally. They're bored in their life. No one challenges them at work. No one challenges them at home if they're single. Try it.
Ho, ho! Fiction can be fun.
Alright, did we just hear that correctly? Did this post-war queen just literally advise to other women to say a creepy-ish kind of message when texting a guy? I'm talking about the same kind of messages that if she receives, she would say, oh no, this is a red flag. The guy's being a creep. And suppose this is the best way to, for them to flirt? By referencing the successful man's mother as if she had anything to do with her flirting? And who knows what else? Queen, let me tell you something. Most men who are successful have enough challenges in their life with.
It really helps out. Moving on.
I'm hosting my first in-person speed dating event in early February, and my hypothesis going into advertising this speed dating event was that more men would want to do the speed dating than women. Why did I think that? I thought that because online dating for men is kind of like one of those 80-20 things. 20% of the men get 80% of the matches and vice versa. So like 80% of the men get 20% of the matches. It's pretty lopsided for online dating, whether it's just like guys not being up to women's standards or not knowing how to like sufficiently build an online profile or how to flirt with people online. Like it's all a skill, right? But I thought, my impression was, my hypothesis going into this was that
Look, no women are going to be interested. Pretty much no woman is going to be genuinely interested in a man who had a speed dating event. Even though a woman who has to go to a speed dating event is a loser, she still sees herself better than the male losers who would have to go to a speed dating event because she has a hole between her legs and not a pole. Like a part of a woman's mind is telling her like, why the hell did this guy have to come to this event?
there would be more men interested in speed dating than women. And it turns out that that's very not true. I've only had one man submit an online like interest form, and I've had like 25 women. It's a very small speed dating event, so I can only have 8 women and 8 men. But now I'm like, oh my God, is this the Bachelor? Are we doing the Bachelor? Do I need to change things here? I'm a little thrown off. Why? Why is this happening? If you have any insight into this, let me know.
How about no? All right there, Queen. You were asking why men don't show up to these speed dating events, and you need some insight. Well, this gorilla is going to help you out as best I can. There are several factors, but first of all, let me explain the obvious. One of the major factors behind dating apps was to replace these speed dating events. Basically, you're doing the exact same thing, but virtually. Going to one of these events, now you have to invest a lot more of your time. And not just that, I mean, you may be going to some second-rate pizza shop that has watered-down drinks, and you're going to have to spend money on that too. So that's starting off. Another factor is, this really is a female creep event. Let me explain what I mean by that. The vast majority of the women that go to these events are not single. They're just there accompanying a friend. So usually, let's say you have an event and you have like...
Yeah, it's like Maddie said, it's a speed rejection event. If I'm gonna get rejected by a bunch, I'd rather do it in the comfort of my own home, where I don't gotta feel the in-person cringe, and I don't have to get looked at with disgust. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, like most women go to speed dating events thinking that they're gonna find that diamond in the rough Chad, you know, who just went because he was bored that night or something. It's so stupid. If women were being realistic, they would go into speed dating events knowing like, okay, I'm coming to this to get the best loser I can get. That should be their mentality if they want success. And I don't think those guys are losers based on my criteria, but she's going to think they're losers. So I'm just talking from her perspective.
Like about 30 women there. Half, I dare say even more than half, are not even single. Their single friends wanted to go to the event. 1, 2, sometimes 3 of her friends decided, hey, you know what?
Met online, and I swore off online dating like a year ago, but I just had this feeling I should try again, and it wasn't bad. It was actually like I matched with one guy. I think I'm done with the app.
Character. When he come home from work, make the whoopee with that man. Ladies, you didn't come here to be somebody's supporting character. You are the lead character. And he should be the lead character in his show. But oftentimes ladies dim their light. to try to prop their man or a man up. Ladies, don't do it. Don't do it. He will not appreciate it. He will start showing resentment. And when he gets to this elevated level, oftentimes he will still cheat on you. He will leave you. He will disrespect you. When all these years you've been the person propping him up to get him to where he is. This is why we say, ladies, don't help a man. Do not help a man. He needs to figure it out on his own. Because, ladies, listen to T-Bird. He won't respect you for it. He will not respect you for it. And not only will he not respect you, honor and adore you for all of the assistance that you gave him on his way up. Ladies, oftentimes what this man will do after you have propped him up is that he will now see himself like either on your level now. Keep in mind, you went down here to get him. You went down here to get him. He wasn't even on your level. But you done built him up, propped him up, assisted him, was his supporting character. Now he up here on your level in his mind. And oftentimes he feels like he's even above you. And guess what? He will not turn around and give you the recognition.
If you were on this great level, this the part that they won't touch on. If you were up there with the guy, why would you even have to consider dating a dude beneath you? Shouldn't the gods want to fuck with you? If you up in the heavens, why would you even... Do you think Beyonce ever considered dating a dude that worked at McDonald's? Do you think she even ever had to give 1 second of thought to dating a man that worked at McDonald's? Of course not. Because she had Jay-Z's and Nas's and fucking billionaires and shit trying to holler at her. They never gonna dive into that aspect of things. If you had to fuck with a dude beneath you, that's your level. Because women who are 10s don't date 3s and 4s and 5s. Because they got 10 guys trying to holler. Nice try, though, bitch. Nice try.
The respect and honor for being the person behind the scenes propping him up. He will be out here chest out. Yeah, because I'm the man. Yeah. I'm the provider. And you're like, I literally had to prop you up. I literally had to give you money. I literally had to put you on my credit cards to get you a good credit score. I literally was the one, the man behind the scene, the woman behind the scene, making all of the good business decisions, making all of the good sound decisions for the family and the household. This same man will, after you have elevated him, stroked his ego, propped him up, instead of turning around and saying, no, this was all because of my woman. No. Hey, guys, thank you for all the recognition, but I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for this here woman right here. Nope. Ladies, this man, you will prop him up. He will then quickly forget that.
Out of all the successful men in the history of men, what percentage do you think were literally made by... Well, what did you do? I'm sure Bill Gates' ex-wife would say she played a big part in it. Just because you were sucking my dick and making me bologna sandwiches while I was building an empire doesn't mean you were responsible for my empire. You blowing me and patting me on the back and saying you could do it, babe, doesn't mean you built me. You know what I mean? Kobe Bryant wife cutting off the edges of his PB&Js don't mean she made Kobe Bryant. Are you fucking kidding me?
Is this camera on me?
Yes, it's on.
That's stupid.
Without you, he wouldn't
Use
even
your
be
common
here.
sense.
He will quickly forget this and then turn on you and act like it was all him. He's the star of the show. He's the man. Hear him roar. Ladies, stop stroking these men egos. Stop helping these men out. Stop propping these men up. I don't care what your grandmother, nana, mother, and aunties told you. Auntie is telling you from life experience, this man is going to turn around and give you his butt to kiss. I have seen men and been with men where after I have propped them up, just poured into them, like literally poured so much into them that I neglected myself, that I poured so much into them that I started abandoning myself. I poured so much into them that I was neglecting duties and responsibilities that I had over here. I have had that same man turn around and look me dead in my eyes like, no, I'm the man. Hear me roar. I'm the provider. Look at me. This all me. And I have to like remind that man, like, you wouldn't even be here without me. Ladies, when I tell you these men will quickly forget everything you have ever done for them. Don't do it. Stop stroking these men's egos. Stop propping these men up. They are not going to show you the respect and give you the recognition for everything you did behind the scenes. And you are going to feel so disheartened and disappointed and frustrated because you're like, how did you forget everything I did for you? How did you forget that? But they will. They will. Stop.
Man, what did you do for them? These women be acting like they be giving men $100,000 loans or something. Like, what? Other than have sex with them, cook them some food. Maybe you drove them to a job interview or something. I mean, what? Honestly, do you think women do more for men in relationships than men do for women? You can't be that silly. You cannot be that goofy. Look, I'm gonna hop off, y'all. I just did this to make up for the hour I couldn't do last night. I'll be back tonight, 6 to 8 p.m. Central Time. So that's approximately in 3 to 5 more hours. Remember, how people treat you is their karma. How you treat others is your karma. If you find yourself treating anybody bad on this planet, you better hope God finds it to be justified. Before I go, I need to let you guys know I have never done anything remotely wrong my entire life. Ever. Hope I see you guys tonight. Thanks for everybody to stop by.